The Legend of Admir, Chapter 8, A Sight for Sore Eyes. Congratulations, Admir. Finn blocked the exit, eyes fixated on Admir. Something felt wrong. For what? Why, you found something special. Finn gestured to the compass in Admir's hands. We always knew there was something powerful in here, and you found it on your first try. Tell me, what did you have to do to find it? Did you speak with them? The fire elementals. Legend has it they only speak to those they deem worthy. Admir kept his mouth shut and slid the compass into his bag. Finn's eyes followed, watching his every movement. Yesterday, he would have been caught up in Finn's allure. Today, after facing everything he'd gone through, after meeting those beings, his head was clear. Something about Finn was off, and he needed to escape as soon as possible. Do not test me, Admir, Finn said, as if reading his mind. Look, how about this? We can turn it over together. My family and I, we were looking for this. It belongs to us. You can join us too. You can join our family. Admir kept quiet, but shook his head. Finn sighed and pulled a horrible-looking blade from somewhere on him. It didn't have to be this way. We would have welcomed you, but... Admir recalled the moment with his shield and torch and how inspirational it was. He wanted a story worth telling, but he wasn't going to make it past a madman with a blade. Increasing difficulty. Hard choices. The ruins had made him lose confidence in himself, resorting to depending on his magic for everything to survive. He had begun to doubt the strength of his words. It had always been his strongest weapon before. Wait, Admir blurted out, throwing his hands up. I'm scared and hurt. I've had a long night, and it only got worse. Huge spiders, a swarm of rats, and something like that woman. I think he infected me. He motioned to the bandage. Maybe I should join you. I'm not thinking too straight, but I know I don't want to fight you, Finn. Finn's smile widened, almost genuinely, and he sheathed his blade. See? That was easy. Man, I'm so glad you changed your mind. Finn approached Admir with open arms, and Admir punched him in the face. Finn's head snapped back as he stumbled, hands clutching his face as blood dripped to the ground. A second later, pain rushed through Admir's hand. I'm going to have to learn how to fight eventually, aren't I? Ah, you idiot! Finn roared. I wanted you around. I wanted you to join us. I wanted to get to know you better and... Ah! Oh, shut up. Multiple clones of Admir sprang into existence, mimicking his actions as he paced around Finn slowly. You're one of them. Finn's eyes widened and his face twisted. Each visage of Admir spoke in unison. What do you mean? Finn rushed him. Admir had never been in many fights growing up. He had a lot of mouth, but never particularly had the strength or courage to even attempt to back it up. Not that he was an asshole, mind you, but he was a charming kid who simply talked too much and ruffled the occasional feather or two. The rare instance in which he'd been in a fight, he simply grabbed whatever he could and tossed it at his attacker. That hadn't gone particularly well then, but he hoped that by tossing the sewing supplies in his bag this time, he could achieve a different result. Finn screamed as various sharp objects jammed into his face. He knelt on the ground in pain, tossing the pair of scissors that was in the bag off to the side, the tip bloody. Admir stared for a moment in disbelief, then fled before Finn could resume his onslaught. There had been no large conspiracy against him or his family. Winton had done what he'd done for simple greed, nothing more. It took Kaito many moons to come to terms with that. He'd done so much in search of the truth. He'd been pardoned for his crimes thanks to saving the queen, but had the answer really been that simple? He was still without his family, forever alone, an orphan. And now, he had no purpose in life. Well, that is until the queen offered him a job as her personal guard. He'd proven to be quite effective, and she would have no one else perform the duties now. It didn't take him long to agree to what she'd ask. He wasn't doing this for fame or riches. He just hoped he could prevent another child from losing their loved ones in the same way he did. The end. The sight of Crest allowed Admir to finally let his guard down. The fear of some dangerous creature or crazed cultist now a distant memory. And, to his surprise, Crest was bustling. The people looked much more active than they had previously, and he was sure the air felt clearer. Admir smiled. Perhaps what he'd done in the ruins had done something here. It was a long shot, but he was hopeful. He pushed his way through the mass of people and headed to the shrine first. That would tell him if his efforts had done anything meaningful. The shrine was still damaged, no magical fix there, but it was being tended to. Fresh offerings were left behind and people were praying and showing their respects. Surely he had nothing to do with this, but he couldn't help but feel proud and slightly responsible. He just so happened to look to his right and was amazed to see a familiar face. Tiga. His smile widened and he waved. She approached. Angrily. What did you do? She clearly wanted to scream but kept her voice to a loud whisper. She wasn't the same happy woman he'd seen previously. Did you go to the ruins? Perhaps she was having a bad day? Yeah, I met the... She groaned. That might explain it. The miasma that was blocking off that path for years? She pointed in some direction that didn't mean much to Admir. Well, it's gone now. That's a good thing, right? She rolled her eyes and grabbed Admir by the arm with a huff and led him through Crest to a small building. She spoke with the two guards standing outside briefly and they allowed her inside. Admir took the hint and followed her. Ma'am, my suspicions were right, Tiga said, leading Admir towards an elderly woman with dark skin and fraying hair. Remember the boy I said that was asking about the ruins? He went there. And returned alive? The elder looked Admir up and down from her seat. He could tell she was holding something back by the way her eyes squinted and head tilted. What's your name, child? Admir Taylor. Ma'am. Why did you go to the ruins? Tiga told me the story about the ruins and the fire elementals, he said, trying to remember what he told Tiga. She told me it probably had something to do with the shrine and I got curious. Let's say I believe that. You're not a local. Why would that be something to concern yourself with? Did I do something wrong? Well, Admir, to put it bluntly, yes. She stood up and moved from behind her desk. For years now, a miasma has shrouded a particular path outside of Cozencrest. While initially concerning, it's actually helped to keep us safe. Nothing could cross it without being infected. Well, we got report early this morning from our scouts that the miasma is gone. And with it, the protection it has afforded us these last few years. I didn't know. I'm sorry. Sorry won't protect my people. Why did you come to Cozencrest? He said he was looking for work. He's from Nerine. The woman stared at Admir, eyes piercing his soul, and she smirked. He took a step back unintentionally. Of course. I'm surprised it took me this long to notice, but you'll have to forgive me. I am old. My eyes aren't what they used to be. The way she emphasized eyes made his spine tingle. I'm sorry to bother you. I think it's best if I go now. Oh, I think so too. Whatever business you had with Cozencrest, Admir Taylor, it's done. Tiga, please escort this man outside of the palisade. No, wait, please, Admir pleaded. I went through a lot of stuff in those ruins and I need to restock and rest and... That is none of my concern. You have invited trouble into our walls once again. Admir tilted his head. Again? Oh, don't play dumb with me, child. She took steps toward Admir, forcing him back even further. She wasn't particularly tall or physically imposing, but her presence bared down on him. You know exactly what I mean. Ma'am? Tiga seemed just as confused as he was now. He lied to you, the elder said. He's not here looking for work. That's not a lie. I just left home and wanted to see the world. Which was technically mostly true. Oh, really? And you chose Cozencrest, of all places, as your stop? She squinted. Ma'am, I don't know what you're implying, but... He knows. He thinks just because he can blend in that he doesn't stand out. I know you, child. Truly a sight for sore eyes. I know what secrets you hide. And if he does not want me to tell you or anyone else in this village what I know, then he'd best make his exit. Now. I'll die out there. I should have let your... She caught herself. No, it doesn't matter now. Tiga, escort him out. Now!